What's up, Sparta Nation? We're back with another episode, and today we're going to be talking about the conception, the evolution of King of Sparta, how we came up with the idea, and where it's going. It was actually really awesome last night to see the UFC Fight Night card in Tennessee. They had Cody Durden and Dustin Jacoby were both on the card. Both the guys have won King of Sparta tournament, and then in the main event, Corey Sandhagen, which he was our featherweight champion and now number 4 in the world in MMA bantamweight. So it was pretty. It's cool to see the guys get onto that next level.
Yeah, no, it was definitely exciting. Because those Cody Durden and Jacoby were on cards. Were they a year apart?
Yeah. So Jacoby won the heavyweight King of Sparta. I want to believe it was March.
No, it was June 2019.
June, yeah, June 2019, and then Durden won April 2019.
Oh yeah,
at Budweiser Event Center. So it was the same year.
Okay,
because then we entered into the pandemic, and then we ended up having to go to Wyoming. So
that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, those were pretty action packed. Durden was last minute.
He was. I love this dude's attitude because it's the same in UFC. And he called me. And he's like, bring me out there. He's like, even if it's short notice, he's like, I'll fuck up everybody in the tournament. I'm going to be the King of Sparta. So sure enough, he got his shot 4 days out. Somebody got hurt, and he brought himself out here from Florida, from Georgia, all the way to Colorado in the altitude, and he put on a fucking clinic. He ran through the tournament.
Yeah, because did all of his finish with a finish?
Well, the championship was, I think he won decision boxing. I don't remember the kickboxing, but I remember he had this wicked slam. Like, he dropped the dude on his head, knocked him out.
The MMA one was fast. I remember that.
And then for Dustin Jacoby, he was also a replacement, kind of on short notice. Somebody got hurt, so he moved into the second seed because we don't really reseed.
Yeah.
And he just ran through that fucking tournament. And in the championship, he fought UFC vet Cody East, and Cody's as tough as they fucking come.
Yep.
And I mean, he turned that into a bloodbath. We'll throw a picture up here of the canvas that night. I mean, it was fucking wild.
That was probably one of our bloodiest bouts we've ever had.
Well, King of Sparta, the second time LT Nelson won, and he fought Joe Bershing in the main event.
Yeah.
That's probably the most blood I've ever seen overall.
I don't know. I would wager that the Cody East and Jacoby one was bloodier. The LT net one was definitely bloody, but it felt, I don't know. I remember...
you hear that LT, Jesse doesn't think you made somebody bloody enough.
No. Hey... We're talking a lot of blood in both cases, but yeah, those were both just bloody accounts.
You know, it's crazy to think back because King of Sparta, a lot of people will say, how did you come up with this? Because it's a copyrighted product. And I remember just thinking, watching LT Nelson fight and a couple other guys, they were just such fucking monsters on their feet. And you had to walk through hell to fight these guys.
Yeah.
But as soon as somebody could get him on the ground, the fight completely changed. So in my head, I was just like, I know we talked about it several times. I'm like, we need to create a tournament that forces somebody to have to fight these guys on their feet, and then later around MMA. And that's where I was just like, I got it. Let's do boxing first, quarterfinals, semifinals is kickboxing, and then the MMA is the championship for the title King of Sparta and $10,000. But it wasn't just as easy as coming up with it. It took us 3 years to get approved through the commission.
Well, what was the problem? It was the amount of rounds, right?
The amount of rounds, but our argument was that you have 10-round boxing fights where a lot more trauma to the head is involved, instead of the way that this was formatted. But we had to go through a lot of shit to make it happen. And then finally, Joseph Mason, who he was getting ready to retire that year. He was the former boxing commissioner here in Colorado. I went to him and I said, look, we're doing Pepsi Center. I need something fucking big. I need you to approve this tournament. And he said, let me look at it again. He looked at it and called me and he said, hey, we're good to go. So we decided to debut it at 155 pounds because LT Nelson is who I really wanted to see in this tournament. And we had him, we had Donald Sanchez. I mean, we had fucking killers in this tournament. And it was just such an incredible tournament that came down to a split decision victory for LT Nelson at Pepsi Center.
I would say, that was a great tournament to start off the King of Sparta with. Really got everybody going, especially since we were at the Pepsi Center. And, it felt pretty good doing it there. And, yeah, there were a lot of finishes. a lot of, I remember, what was it, LT's kickboxing against
Gerald Scott.
Gerald Scott, Gerald Scott. Yeah, those guys were getting personal. It felt like, it was like, as far as, the crowd goes, like it was perfect for that. And yeah, we had great commentary by the great late Stephen Bollner. And like, I just remember it being one of the most exciting and just all around entertaining fights.
Well,
like
it was
a series of fights.
I think what was exciting about it, and still is exciting, is nobody's ever fucking seen this.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, I was in Vegas at the Terrence Crawford fight, and I was talking to Ariel Hawani, who was there, and I was telling him, and he's like, that's fucking crazy. I've never heard of it. And so it's just like, some people still haven't seen it, but the fact that you have boxing in the first round, first four round professional boxing, and then, it's the traditional seeding, 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, and 4 versus 5, highest versus lowest. But that 4 round in boxing is a wild card. And especially in the featherweight tournament we have coming up in 2 weeks, because Milton Roque has decided to enter into King of Sparta, and he's the 8 seed, and he's having to fight Yusuf Zalal, who's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
But this is boxing, and Milton has been a professional boxer now for over 4 years.
Yeah.
And he has fought in MMA. He has trained jiu-jitsu. So we really don't know how that fight's going to play out in the first round. We have seen people get upset is in the boxing round.
Yeah. And it is seeds 1 and 8, but kind of in that field, it could possibly be reversed if it was just boxing.
Yeah. It's like hockey tournament, man. It's a whole new season. All you got to do is make it into the tournament, and then fucking anything can happen. One of the unique things about the tournament, though, is out of every tournament that we've had, a number one seed has never been upset until the championship. A 1 has made it to the championship in every King of Sparta and every Queen of Sparta tournament that we've ever had.
That is true.
You know? And then in the lowest seed to win happened on the Queen of Sparta. Kat Paprocki won the tournament as the 5 seed.
Yep. And that was...
But she was a 1 versus a 5 in the championship.
Yeah, and that was a big change up because, we had to redo it on the spot because we had one of the girls couldn't make it.
Oh, that's right. That's the first time that we experienced that. And since then, the tournament has been like, here, hold my fucking beer.
Yeah, you get double, with those, we ended up doing, double elimination?
One person got a double elimination because our alternate went down at that point, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a crazy night, too. That was a great finale, the MMA round with Kat versus
Diana Rael Chisler. Yeah.
Yep.
She's amazing. They're both amazing fighters, but I can't think of a championship fight that has just been total domination other than Cody Durden. And that fight, he picked up the guy and slammed him on his head. But if you go back and think, King of Sparta won, Donald Sanchez, and LT Nelson was a fucking barn burner. LT Nelson versus Bershing at welterweight, that was a barn burner. The recent one, LT Nelson and Violent Bob Ross, Luis Pena, was a fucking barn burner for five rounds. And we thought, LT almost had him out of there early in the fight, but Pena is a veteran of the game. He's a savage. He's a gangster, and he's resilient. So he came back. But really, the only dominating win that we've seen in King of Sparta has been in the championship has been that one fight by Cody Durden. And Dustin Jacoby was dominant, but it went the entire distance because Cody East is so fucking tough. Yeah, and even LT's done, fought 2 of them and 3.
Oh, see, it just
three-time King of Sparta champ, which is just fucking wild because there's so many factors in a tournament that have to go right.
Yeah,
you've got to be healthy. You got to be great in boxing. You got to be great in kickboxing, which LT Nelson is. And then he's so underrated in MMA, and a lot of people don't know he's been working jiu-jitsu and wrestling very hard at his camp in Team 4s in Oklahoma. So when the opportunity presents itself, a lot of people forget Luis Pena was cut from the UFC for some bullshit, or he would still be there. The guy's a world-class fighter, and LT's right there with him. He beat him, but still just showing the level of athleticism and fight IQ for LT. There's not a lot of guys he can't give a run for at 55.
Yeah, that one back at the beginning of the year, it's probably one of the most surgical, I don't know, it was it was back and forth. The technical precision of it was fantastic. And that, I mean, the energy in the crowd during that was, because we're in the trailer doing production, and you could just, there's moments where you could drop a pin in there. And then there's moments where you can't hear anything because it's just going nuts.
Yeah. I think one of the most exciting things for me, though, was when Tony Cumming approved the elimination, the amateur elimination King of Sparta modified. So they go 3 rounds, 3 rounds, 3 rounds. But so many people that saw the Featherweight Elimination King of Sparta tournament in January thought that was pro.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I mean, you had fucking killers, like the best amateurs in the entire country were in, and we saw an upset. You know, Christian Hightower got beat in the boxing fight, you know, by Brendan Milgren, who, I mean, there's just not one guy in that tournament 1 through 8 that's not a fucking gangster.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Montez showed what a dog he was, like 3 very tough fights.
Yeah.
You know, the kid he fought, Trevino from Indianapolis, is like, that kid has 150 amateur boxing fights, 100 wrestling matches in high school, and he was an undefeated mixed martial artist. So the tournament is awesome because, in my opinion, it produces the best pure mixed martial artist.
Yeah.
I
mean, you have just the suspense of it with the crowd because, like you said, there's upsets that can happen, you know, like especially with an MMA fighter that may, you know, have an upset in the boxing round or the kickboxing round, which completely changes it up, you know, when it comes to the MMA because you just don't know what you're going to get. And, you know, that's I think a lot of the excitement for it.
Well, I mean, how tired they are. Because do you remember when we first started, we would do the King of Sparta 8-man MMA tournament. And that's where you had to win 3 MMA fights in one night. But we never made it all the way to the final. One person did. And then we always had to use an alternate because of fucking injuries.
Oh, that's a while ago.
Broken ribs, broken nose, cuts. So I feel like in the boxing round, like, you don't see as many cuts.
Yeah.
And then in kickboxing, we remove the elbows, and you can still knee, but it's different. You're not like, it's not Muay Thai. They're not throwing their elbows. So you eliminate, you know, the cut at that point as well. And for the most part, and then, you know, into MMA. So it's a long night for somebody though, and a well-deserved $10,000 and, you know, and some glory.
No, absolutely. I don't think we've had one Queen of Sparta where we had a couple injuries that changed up in between fights.
Yeah.
That was the first one. And I don't think we haven't had any other, like everybody's made it all the way through. Who won?
Well, yeah. I mean, we had to have modifications in January. We had to go from an 8-man to a 4-man and then do 3-round kickboxing, 5-round MMA. But the tournament format is supposed to be 4 rounds boxing, 3 rounds kickboxing, and 3 rounds of professional MMA. And this one coming up on August 19th is very, very interesting for many ways. I mean, we have a fighter all the way coming out from Russia. We have fighters from all over the country. Another guy that trains with Cody Durden out of ATT down there in Georgia. And Luis Luna is somebody that I have always wanted to see fight LT Nelson because he used to fight at 55. And the guy is just very fun, exciting to watch. I mean, he's got amazing striking. He's good on the ground. He's really fucking tough. And then you have, you know, Darian Robinson from Cease MMA in Colorado Springs. Very young, talented, dynamic, good at wrestling, good on his feet, good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, the wild, and then Yusuf Salal. Look, Yusuf is not even into his 30s yet. Was in UFC on a good run. You know, he got cut. He's on his way back. We've had him 2 times against very legitimate talent, and they look like they didn't even belong in the cage with him. He's just
the skill he has shown in those.
Yeah, the skill is unbelievable, but we've never seen him box professionally, and that's the wild card.
Yeah.
Right there. You know, like, how is he going to fare against, you know, Milton, who packs a huge punch and has just been training strictly boxing for a long time until this tournament. You know, he decided to get back into, you know, he loves MMA and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, this one is a tough tournament to pick. AJ Robb, who we seen him at a very young age here in Sparta, and he was he's a very special athlete, a very special fighter, and one of the things we talk about with the tournament is I really want to see him fight Yusuf Zalal, but there's an agreement because of a relationship there that they had agreed to really not do that unless it made sense. Yeah. So they're on opposite sides of the bracket. So if the stars align, we will see 1 versus 2 in the championship for $10,000.
Which has happened.
Yeah, it really has. Watching it just kind of, play out. But, the tournament is exciting. And this is, ironically, 2023, we've done more tournaments this year than we've done in any other year since we've debuted it in 2018.
That's true.
So the next question is, when are we getting back to doing the Queen of Sparta? And
yes.
I wanted to do it here, this year, but I think it's more of a 2024 project because we have this. October is going to be Sparta 99, and then November 11th, Sparta 100. And we just going to have too many fights. The tournament wouldn't fit there. So the Queen of Sparta is an absolute yes for me. We got to get it back.
What weight class are you thinking of?
Man, it's grown so much. I think 115, 125, 135, even 145. But I think 115 out of the gate. I think in January we bring back the women at 115, and then we do something in February or March at 125.
Okay.
And then, April will be AVM, or our 15th anniversary AVM. So we have to do something wild there.
Yeah. No, that'll be exciting to get the girls back in for Queen of Sparta, because I know we've had, during our promo days and photo shoots, we get asked about it quite a bit. So
yeah. Well, it's just there was like a wealth of female fighters, and then an insurgence of UFC and these other taken women at 2 to 3 to 4 fights, and so it really emptied the pool. A lot of them that went straight from Invicta to UFC, and so it's just has been a little more difficult. But now there's a lot more. I do see a lot of the applications come in asking for it. So
yeah,
but I think that's one of the most amazing things about King of Sparta and Queen of Sparta. We're the only ones that can do it, and anybody that tries to fucking copycat it, we will fucking sue their ass. So there's only one, only one there. But hey, I would sell it. we would sell it for an ice cream truck, a taco truck, and some other crazy shit. I'm sure.
I'm sure Jeff would go for some magic beans.
Yeah. So we got some other big news. We're just not allowed to talk about it yet. Fuck, it's killing us.
We still can't talk about it?
Can't talk about it.
Uh-oh.
So I put pen to paper.
I've been talking about it.
A couple more weeks.
No.
Couple more weeks. Yeah, we got some exciting news coming up with Sparta, and it's a game changer. We're gonna do some new shit in the sports and entertainment industry as a whole. So we're really fucking pumped about that.
Yeah. No, yeah, there's good things all across the horizon. We've got a few things coming up.
Just a few.
Just a few. I'm definitely booked out quite a bit.
Yeah, I think, and I try to think of like what new bullshit can we come up with that nobody's ever done that will make Jesse's life extra hell. That's really what we need to do.
We.
Yeah.
Can we talk about anything outside of the fighting? Like, oh yeah, field day. We got advertisements out for that.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited about that. And
like Jeff has top secret stuff all over everything. I'm like, what can I say?
Well, yeah. So breaks my heart that this wasn't our idea.
Yeah, it is common, but
yeah, it was Jessica's idea, and so I give her fucking glory, I guess. No, so she had this great idea. She's an incredible event planner, and she said, we should do an adult field day. And so I was just like, what do you mean? She's like kids field day, but for adults and with fucking booze.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is fucking awesome, man. This is awesome. We were just talking about today. I was like, do you think we should have medical standby on? Because, everybody that's plus 35 is probably going to get fucking injured drinking, playing these games.
Limited liability. You got to have that.
Yeah, so we're going to do that on Saturday, September 6th. Or Saturday, September 2nd. And we're going to we have a giant slip and slide. We're going to play beer pong, tug of war, flip cup.
Kickball.
But what's the deal with a kickball? It's not just normal kickball.
It's more drunken kickball. It's not super special. It's team sport. But
Don't you got to do like a shot and then spin or something?
Yes, there are some dizzying effects that will be added in there.
Yeah.
We're still kind of designing a few of the things like, well, how to get the max craziness out of it. We were talking about capture the flag and a few other things today that we're probably going to find ways to incorporate in. But yeah, we're going to set it up in a fun, basically, you can either form your own team or you can come solo and be put on a team, and it'll be teams of 6 competing. And we were talking about some potential grand prizes today that sounded pretty fun. So
yeah, I haven't been involved in that because if I said I didn't like it, I'm fucking dead.
like I say, I was excited about some of the grand prizes, and we haven't landed on one yet, but it'll be coming out probably this week. We're here really soon.
Yes, we've actually had an overwhelming, incredible response. People are like, "This sounds fun," But if you think about it, like Field Day was fucking fun when we were kids, and there was none of this bullshit participation trophies, and there will be none here. So if you're fucking unathletic and you suck, you're not getting a fucking ribbon.
There will be gift bags for everyone, though.
Yeah, so we will gladly take your registration money, and then we will re-gift you a T-shirt.
No, it sounds fun. I'm glad because I was worried that we need like more of an AV or tech presence there, and I was like, we don't really need to. I could come and join because I really want to join.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome because we're gonna have tents with alcohol, and we're gonna have food trucks out there, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, really, it's one of those things that's just outside the box and fun. And, for many years we've talked about the multiple things that was the plan when we changed our name to Sparta Sports and Entertainment. It's not just combat sports, it's concerts, it's festivals, it's, food festivals and car shows and, the big one in Halloween that,
yes, fingers crossed, about to check a bucket list item off, hopefully.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's going to be fun, and I hope everybody comes out and can behave themselves and get really drunk and Uber home, do not drink.
You don't need to drink either. Like there will be drinking, but if you want to come up and be DD or if you don't drink, there will still be lots of fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's the sober division.
Yeah, Jeff wanted a corner for us, but
it's just not as fun then, Jesse. Just not as fun.
No, you actually get to remember it. It'll be great.
Yeah. No, it's going to be fun. We're excited about it, and it's definitely an event that we want to do annually.
Yeah, or maybe even more than once a year.
Yeah,
if it gets going.
Well, and I'm excited too because we're getting full swing 2024 back into the music production.
Yep.
And country music specifically is something that I've had a great passion for, and we're going to be booking some heavyweights in 2024.
Oh yeah, you've mentioned a couple of them, and I don't like country, so I don't know who they are. I'm just kidding. I mean, Jeff got me into country, and now it's hurting my head because I'm enjoying it.
I mean, Jesse's been a part. He's been my business partner for so long but he doesn't even know what the difference between MMA, kickboxing, and boxing is. So. He's looking
One
at it.
you use your feet on.
He likes Jake Paul. I mean, we know that about him. But for his YouTube,
we're going to be editing that out. That is straight up blasphemy.
Oh, it's his brother Logan Paul that you have to crush on.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that'll be fun. But yeah, no, we thought we'd hop back on here and talk to you about some upcoming stuff. Again, we have something fucking huge that we're working on, and hopefully after August 15th, we can talk about it and make the story public because it's going to be huge.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I probably need to shut up about it because I've probably been telling too many people off the record. So.
Well, we'll probably see it sooner than later than on social media.
This is true.
Hey, and then when you tell somebody, they're going to be like, I'm not surprised, motherfucker. Just like Nate Diaz.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, 2 weeks, Saturday, August 19th, King of Sparta, including there's a total of 22 fights on this card.
Yeah, the card's looking huge.
It's fucking stacked.
Yeah.
But I'm just pumped. I got goosebumps thinking about this. So we're gonna schedule a live press conference. We're gonna stream weigh-ins live, and then we're gonna have a pre-show as well. Todd Romero is gonna be joining us back in the commentary. So
our favorite pain in the ass, but he is really good.
He is really good.
Just kidding, Todd. Yeah, no, it's looking good for August.
What else do we have to talk about today, Jesse?
I don't know. You made everything else top secret, so all we can do is hint at it. So
I know, but last week I went to a meeting in Vail and about the situation that we're approaching.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy, man. Just like everything's so surreal. This is something that we've talked about for fucking 14 years. And we're on the doorstep now of making it happen.
Yeah. No.
And it's going to be first. Like, we're going to be the first to have something like this. And, you know, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder if people think we're talking about a flying car.
I would hope not.
Hey, with me, anything's possible.
This is true, but we all know you're not making a car.
No, just modifying one.
Yeah, out of crayons.
Hey, you know, that hurts, but it's true. I'm a very talented crayon designer. Okay, Crayola would be very happy.
I'll give you
They
that.
would be blessed to have me.
If you didn't eat the crayons, you might even get sponsored.
Vernier was the crayon eater. I think that's what we have for right now, but we're excited. Make sure you check out the link below for Sparta 98 King of Sparta Featherweights. It's going to be fucking wild. And we are super excited to drop some big news here in the next few weeks. So we thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.